Hello, everyone, and welcome along to the reaction of the Hearts versus Rangers game. Game finished Hearts 1, Rangers 3. Uh, Along with me today is Scott and Stu. How you doing, boys?
I'm great, Brian.
Yeah, all good.
Good stuff. So, guys, we spoke about the team and the reaction. Stu, you weren't there. How did you feel the team setup was looking before the game?
I was excited. Love to see all the youth on the bench. Was also glad because I thought it was the right decision to rest him before the big one. So just really excited. Wanted to get to Weston on and that, so to actually see him come on and obviously get minutes in the legs of Ramsey again, seeing Lowry again, King again. So yeah, just more excitement than anything for me.
I think this is pretty much everyone's feeling, Scott, isn't it? Good afternoon from the South Wales Loyal, Nicholas. Nice afternoon's work, all set up for Wednesday now. So we'll get into the game. And I thought, Scott, we actually started really well. First 10, 15 minutes, we were pretty comfy, weren't we?
Maybe it's. I mean, you've got a couple, some of the new guys, not new guys, but some of the younger guys coming in. Everybody looks like they're comfortable. They
Yeah,
played a lot of decent stuff. All the players look comfortable. But Alec Lowry, he's head and shoulders, man, talent wise above everybody in that park, isn't he? The
yeah,
guy's just superb, and I know Hearts too elite, but they didn't really. Hearts actually flattered to deceive at times, didn't they? I just
yeah,
thought Rangers strolled it, and Leon King and Alec Lowry are just two guys who are going to be big players for us in the coming seasons.
yeah, definitely. Um, Unlike us, Stu, Hearts went pretty first team sort of, picks. I think they were regretting that when Boyce got taken off with a slight injury. I mean, it's a dangerous game to do that, isn't it? Especially with one of your main men.
Yeah, I said in our chat, I thought that was mental, like especially likes of Herring and Boyce. They're both sort of injury prone.
Hmm.
So to start both of those guys, I thought that was absolutely crazy decision, and same with a lot of the rest of them. I could understand wanting to get a result, but they can't move up or down, same as us. So
Yeah,
it seemed absolute bonkers to me to even try that. And they paid the price, and it didn't look a good one, does it? Especially when a player's going down of his own accord. So
no,
not a good one for them. But and at the end of the day, they didn't get anything out of it either, did they? Because they got absolutely spanked. So yeah,
yeah.
just a strange one.
The Battle Fever, well played Rangers, especially the young lads today. I think that's the main takeaway from today, guys, isn't it? The youth never didn't do themselves any harms, did they, Scott?
No, we said it in the preview, Brian. In the way Alec Lowry plays the game of football, he's confident. He plays with a swagger. He knows he's good, but he's not arrogant about it. But he knows he's good, and
Yeah,
he could play a part of Wednesday night for me easily because it's his balance and the way he runs, and he sees the whole pitch and he can pick a pass, he can finish. He's just got everything in his lock, and you see that a couple of times when running the ball. He's actually a lot quicker than some people may think he is, and I think he's just a superior footballer for his age, and
yeah,
he has to be involved with the first team from now on because it's the only way we'll get better. He has to play better players because he's got the ability to keep stepping up. But I just have to say a shout out to Celtic. I kind of said it in the preview pod. I don't know why he was playing, but I actually thought he had a really good game today. He scored a goal, but I thought he linked up play well. He was all over the top end of the park, and he was involved in just holding the ball up, bringing others into play. And I actually quite enjoyed the way he played. And I don't know if he's trying to make a case for a move or a point to be there next season, but he looked like he was actually enjoying the way he was playing. He was playing with a smile. If you
yeah,
want to say it that way, he was enjoying himself.
absolutely. And then Stu, I think as Andy Little said on the commentary, he says it was slightly against the run of play, and Hearts took the lead. And I must admit, when the goal went, and I was kind of didn't expect that.
Yeah, I was exactly the same. It was a bit shocking, to be honest. So they hadn't done anything, and I thought we'd started on the front foot. We were playing with confidence, and then sort of they'd got forward, I think, one time before that, but we dealt with it quite comfortably. And then yeah, ball into Sims. I actually quite like that Sims as well. I've always thought he'd be a good little backup for us, but he holds it up well. I didn't think the tracking was great from us. You can forgive it a little, but it was almost there two players waiting for it on the edge of the box.
Yeah.
Great finish. Can't do anything about it. Um, wasn't that bothered by it. I think just because I think everyone sort of shrugged a little bit and went, oh well. But it was still frustrating. You feel like it could have damaged a couple of these kids who they've started the game really well. They could have gone in their shells a little bit, but it was a complete opposite for the reaction, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
I think you've seen that, Stuart, this season. Not just the first team since probably January, February. The first team we've dug deeper when we
Mm.
started losing games. We didn't earlier on this season, but we have the last few months. We don't know when we're beat, and I think a lot of the B team have had done that all season. All these guys are brought up the same way. Doesn't matter if you can see the goal, you can still get enough to go and win it. I think you've seen that today. It didn't bother them. They just get back on, do what they were doing, and we scored quite quickly. And at the end of the game, it was only one day. The only one team in that game that was going to win, wasn't there?
Mm.
And that was
Yeah,
us because we were
Yeah,
we were confident, we were good.
yeah. And then, of course, your man, Mr. Lowry Scott, came up with the assist for the goal,
Yeah.
a corner, great cross, and Cedric, as we said in the preview, Cedric came up with a goal, and I'll
No,
tell you
you
what, it's a
did you
good.
not put him down for first goal, Brian?
I put it first. Yeah, yeah,
There you go. No, I mean, when he first came in, Cedric he done okay, didn't he? A couple of European games, a couple.
mm,
You thought this boy's actually looks okay. He's had a bad time, and I think his time is up at Rangers. But I'm glad he scored and he put in a decent performance for me.
good header though, Stu, wasn't it? I mean, he lost his man and powerful finish into the bottom corner.
He didn't just lose his man. I thought he lost half the time, Castle. He
Yeah,
had about 10 yards all around him. It was
Yeah,
unbelievable. I thought our marking was bad. It was a good corner, right into that danger. Keeper can't really comfort there, can he? And yeah, he's made sure of it. He hasn't sort of just put it anywhere. He's bulleted it right into that corner. And we're screaming out with it on the pitch to put balls into him. We never seem to do it when he's playing. We always seem to sort of play on the deck, and then when he's not playing, we'll put balls in.
yeah.
But he is capable of that. It's just not enough, really, is it? But you can't take anything away today. I thought he was really good today.
No, no. And I think we'll see in the first goal as well. I don't think it was any of the youth boys, as CGM's pointed out. It was definitely Arfield that lost his man for the goal. So we're not attributing any blame to any of the youth players. Just to clarify. And then Scott, our main man, Mr. Lowry, the shining light in the youth, was let loose on the left-hand side. And as soon as he got the ball, you just knew what he was going to do, didn't you?
yeah. I mean that's Alec all over, isn't it? Yeah. Actually, I mean I'm sitting watching him myself in the living room, and he gets the ball, and you do kind of go forward to the telly because you think someone's going to harm me because that's the type of player he is, but. He can produce things like that, Brian. We've seen it, and he'll keep doing it. And
Yeah.
he's just the guy's a talent. I know Willie has been speaking up for a good few seasons.
Yeah,
Yourself
well,
what Willie's like, and Willie usually spots up where, to be fair, but he's been bumming Alec up for a while, and we know why because we're starting
yeah,
to see it ourselves now. And I'm glad he's signed a new contract with us because people will be taking notice. Not just Alex, but people will be taking notice.
yeah. It was a great wee finish, wasn't it? A wee jink in the box, Stu, and then he didn't even sort of. It wasn't even like a powerful shot. He just sort of curled it a little pass into the corner.
Yeah, just cushioned it. And it almost looked, from one of the replays, it didn't actually look that good of a goal, but
Yeah,
in real time, it was unbelievable. But that's just him, wasn't it? It just shows how easy he makes the game look. And I also think players like, when you've got a player of that class, you see players like Ramsey are almost attracted to them with the ball because they know that they can trust them with it.
mm-hmm.
And they had a nice little interchange a couple of times, them two. But yeah, as soon as he got the ball, you knew he was going to get in there and do it. And yeah, it looked like he had all the time in the world, and it was a lovely finish. It's crying out for those sort of midfielders that do that with the ball. So yeah, really, really excited to see him.
Yeah, and that took us to half. That was basically, I think, on the stroke of half time. So we go in 2-1 up, and I don't think anybody could have decried us that 2-1 lead, Scott. We were, very comfortable. And let's be honest, Hearts had one shot in the first half, probably, and one goal.
Yeah,
Just about.
I said they flat to deceive Hearts. And they'll probably get excuses they weren't. Maybe it's the last game of the season, they weren't up for it, but it could backfire on them in the Scottish Cup final. I mean, they're going to butt flat anyway, get as a final, but
Yeah,
I mean, obviously, Boyce went down injured. We don't know how bad it is, but putting a full strength squad, when you're not really in the need to, it could backfire. So we don't know how bad Boyce is out, but if he's not fit for next week or he's a dodgy, as in 70%, you don't know how that will be. So I think some Hearts fans might be kind of unhappy with their full strength team, but credit to Rangers players in the first half. I thought we were superb. Even like Stuart said earlier, we went a goal down, but it never bothered them. But I
no,
thought with Davis, Arfield, Ramsey, the experience was there, but a young guys fed off that, and the older guys fed off the young fat guys as well because they've got the legs. They've their positional play was superb, and I thought Sands had a decent game at the back myself. I thought he
Yeah,
played well at centre back, and Leon King out wide because Leon doesn't really waste the ball, and he's mobile, he gets up and down, and he's still growing as well, Leon, even though he's a big lad. I thought everybody played quite well, even the boy Devine. I thought at times he looked, I'm not saying timid, but maybe just a wee bit behind the times
Mm.
like
Mhm.
Lowry. But you can see he never had, and he was always trying to get forward, and he done it a few times. He was just maybe out muscled a couple of times.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, Nicholas Moore, I'm going to hold you to this. I'm holding you to this big time.
Don't
You
need them.
better
They've
get.
got I like Lowry.
Oh dear.
There's
But
good golf courses in Scotland, right enough,
I was
Brian.
about to say, yeah, we've got all the golf courses, haven't we? So yeah, Bale will love it up here. But I just seen that. I thought I'd have to bring that up. But so we started the second half, and the changes as we thought would started. Charlie McCann came on for Arfield, which we all kind of thought, Stuart, in the preview. It was only one sub at halftime, but again, when he came on, he just strolled around the park, wasn't bothered, very calm, very assured.
Yeah, I think most of these kids, I mean, today especially, you saw how good they are. But there's a couple of them, your Lowrys, your Kings, and your McCanns. They just look like they belong at that level straight away, don't they? And
Mhm.
he's so confident on the ball, and I think he doesn't change his game to come into that sort of the men's game. He's playing how he's always played, and it suits that game. Um, I was. I actually wanted a few more on at half time, but after the game, I just thought, Gia's got that spot on really, and the timing of the subs was brilliant. So, um, yeah, the right one for me. Get Arfield some time on the bench because he may be used on Wednesday. But McCann, yeah, another one I'm really excited for, and we've sort of waited so long for these youths to come through. We haven't really done it in a while, and now we've just got so many coming through at once. It's
Yeah.
just yeah, I'm just really excited for it all.
I think that's the biggest compliment you can give Scott. That the Lowry
It's not
finish was
a bad
very
shout.
much Henry-esque, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, he's a laid back footballer, Alec. He's that confident about his own ability. Like I said earlier, and nothing seems a hassle for him, but he's really, whatever he does, he's superb. And I know, well, used to always say when he's taking free kicks or penalties with the academy, well, like, a lot of the parents used to maybe have heart attacks at times because he was too laid back, but he would always finish it. And see if you can do that in a football park, and you're good enough, why not? Because
Yeah.
it's not being arrogant, it's just the way people play. We see Terry Henry done it, you see Benzema doing it all week, and it's just the way players are. If that's the way he can play, I'll be happy with that because the boys are talented, Brian, and to have somebody coming through like that, it'll give a lot of Rangers fans hope, but it'll give us a lot of excitement as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And then in the sixth, just after the hour mark, as we said, Stu, another couple of subs. Simpson making an appearance for Balogun, and Cole McKinnon coming on for Aaron Ramsey. Now, again, I dare say these were obviously in mind with the squad for Wednesday, but again, young Cole McKinnon getting a reward for his new contract.
Yeah, and as well, I think that these guys, I think, go under the radar a little bit with what the other guys are doing in the first team at the moment. But yeah, you can't begrudge these guys, especially Colin McKinnon, who's just had a sensational couple of weeks, isn't he, at the sort of B team level? Yeah, just it's as I say before, it's so exciting to see these guys come through, and then for them to come on and shine like they did outside of what Lowry and McCann and that have
Yeah,
done already. So that's the good thing to see from them. I hadn't seen too much of a couple of the others either. So like I'd seen a bit of McKinnon, but not McCausland and stuff. So it's really good to see him.
yeah,
But yeah, with mine for Wednesday, definitely. I thought Ramsey was a bit slack sometimes, but other times you're still seeing how good he is, and
yeah,
he's shown enough that we may need him on Wednesday at some point. Same with Arfield. Jack Simpson, really surprised to see him come on, to be honest. But he didn't do too bad. He dealt with everything he needed to. So um, sort of happy to see because he does get a lot of stick, doesn't he? And I've been one of them giving it to him. But yeah, just
yeah.
happy to see everyone come on and sort of play their part.
Now, Scott, this could be something that we are aligned to, but maybe I'll ask you, seeing you're the youth man in this. Is this our class of '92?
I'll message Willie and ask him the answer. We've got a chance. There's a lot of talented boys there. mean, the three Stuart mentioned, we've also got Ross McCausland, who's very talented, a wee bit younger, but he likes to take on players. He's exciting to watch. He can score goals. He can create. Cole McKinnon, who I constantly mention, because I think Cole's a great player. He come on and when he scored, I was really chuffed, and because I just think he's got that ability. You've also got Murray was on the bench. Murray Wallace. You've got Murray Miller. Sorry, you've got Tony West in there. You've got Robbie Fraser, who never made
Robbie
an
Fraser,
impact. Yeah. So there's a lot of guys in this squad who they're seeing their teammates like Lowry and McCann coming in and thinking,
they're seeing a pathway.
I want a taste of that. So I think if I work hard, because sometimes talent gets you so far, but it's your hard work it pushes you over the line. So if you work hard, who knows for these guys? Because like you said, if the pathway's there and they take their chance when they're given it, I mean, they could be successful. Yeah, Man United done it in '92, and it was really successful for that time because Alex Ferguson gave them all a chance.
Yeah,
They've not been as successful recently, just the way the English games went with money. But
yeah,
there's no harm in Rangers doing it. See if you're good enough. I don't really care what age you are. If you're good enough, you deserve a chance. And I think these guys are proving they should be getting a chance, and then we'll see
yeah,
if they're good enough. And some will take it, some might not, but some will take it. And so hopefully more of them do not.
yeah, definitely. Now, this is for both of you. A question coming in from Gaz 1983. Does the panel think we stand a better chance on Wednesday now with the players that was kept out of today's game?
I think so. Yeah, I don't think you can do any harm in giving a couple of tired legs a rest. Kent, Aribo, these guys have played a lot of minutes this season, and I do think we are a team that sort of thrive on games. I think that sort of Thursday, Sunday before that really suits us. I think we like having those. But right now, it's not worth the risk in a dead rubber. It wasn't worth the risk to put these guys on. You saw what happened with Boyce. If that happened with Aribo, who are we playing through the middle straight away? It could be a massive problem. So I think, overall, I think we have a better chance. I didn't think it mattered too much, but just for resting players and not taking any injuries on board and seeing, giving Ramsey minutes, giving Lowry minutes, because these guys could potentially play a part on Wednesday. So for me, yeah, definitely.
To be honest with you, Brian, I've said for ages we're going to win it, so it doesn't bother me if we played or no, because I'm not confident about Wednesday night. I could be totally wrong and it comes back and bites me, but I've been confident. I said about the semi-final, I'm saying about the final. I'm just for some reason very confident.
Just to add as well, McCausland came on for Dalio during that substitution route.
Have you said it properly now? You don't want Martin Foden?
I know. Ahmed Diallo. Oh, so we go on, and I thought this was a bit of a funny moment. Suter and Halliday coming on, and the Rangers fans giving them a big applause and cheer. I found that quite amusing. I mean, obviously Suter's coming to us in the summer, but just I mean that's just us in a nutshell. The Rangers fans, they just love to bam them up, don't they, Stu?
Yeah, it was funny too when all the sort of cheers and stuff. And again, it's like I don't know if he's done that on purpose, but it's almost winded about his own fans. He's taken Boyce off injured, and now he's bringing on two former Rangers and a future Rangers player.
Yeah,
it was funny. And all the sort of Seville chants for Andy Halliday were really good. Really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, there wasn't many Hearts fans there, was there, for a final home game?
I
I thought that was quite poor.
Yeah.
I mean, it's your last game of this season before your domestic cup final, you would think you would all go, because no doubt next week they'll be shouting for a ticket. So unless you've got something important on, fair enough. But if you're just missing it for the sake of missing it, I mean, I don't really like to miss games. Maybe I'm different from everybody else, but I would have been there if it was the last home game of the season if that was my team.
Yeah, you'd be hoping that they could sort of not intimidate us, but do you know what I mean? Like, get right on our backs because they're playing us in a week's time, and try and put down a marker, because it's not going to be good for them going into a cup final having lost to a bunch of kids.
Yeah, I got a ticket for Tynecastle today, but if I did, I wouldn't be on the pod. I'd have been at Tynecastle. Do you know what I mean? Because you always prefer being at the game rather than watching it on TV. That's just me. Maybe I'm different. Some people just like it that way, but I always prefer being in the stadium.
And just another mention of a youth player getting a game. Young Tony Weston came on for Davis. I thought there was a couple of moments where Weston had a chance, Stu, where he was through, but just didn't fall for him. But I mean, I think I counted 7 or 8 youth players in the final 11.
Yeah, I think at one point they said we had was it 6 teenagers on the park at the same time or something like that? It was, yeah, it was. I was really excited to see him. He's obviously the one you see grabbing the headlines
38 goals, isn't he?
just through the statistics. He's scored so many goals, and he was sort of playing out on that left hand side. And I think Andy Little mentioned, he doesn't give defenders a minute to breathe, and he again just looked confident. You can see the philosophy that's working at the club through the youth. They play the same way as the senior setup. And yeah, I like to see players take up those good positions because I don't think you can sort of teach timing. And players like Weston, McKinnon did it for his goal as well, just taking up that little pocket of space in the box, and he did that a few times. Weston, he was unlucky with a header, I thought as well, and towards the end. But yeah, just it's brilliant. It's brilliant to see them all.
Yeah, I think as well, Scott, the man that you predicted might have a good game or certainly make an impact when he came on, young Cole McKinnon. Fairly took his chance, and just after the 80th minute, a great build up down the right, and McKinnon, what a finish! Really good goal.
Yeah, he does that. Cole. He's got an eye for he's got an eye for scoring goals, especially like belters. I will say he's no one for tapping them in, but he just touched it and turned on it, didn't he? And I think it took Craig Gordon by surprise myself because it was a great finish, and that's what he does. He's box to box. He can get and about it. He gets back behind the ball when defending, but he's full of enthusiasm. But he's a very talented football player, and that's what you need. And he's a hard worker, so I'll have him in the round about the first team squad next season. And if he can go on and do things like that, why not? Because he's not the only one, to be fair. But that was a
No.
great finish, a very good finish. I think he'll be happy with himself because I know going to a few games and a lot of the parents are down to earth, but a lot of the guys are really down to earth. You've seen that with Robbie Fraser coming on the pod a while back. Really, all these boys are really down to earth. I know, like some now youth players you get at various teams, probably more down in England enough. They think they've already made it because they're earning big bucks, but they'll play their first team game and stuff like that. These guys haven't. But the good thing about the B team, Brian, is they train and play the same way as the first team, so
Yeah,
they're just stepping from one part going to another part with different players, but everything's roughly the
same
same.
systems.
So it's just swapping teams. Do
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So they're used to playing that way, training that way, which is a good model to have because they're not coming into playing with players that know their game and vice versa, even though they're not played together, but they know where they're going to be and where they should be and stuff like that. So
yeah,
it's good, and hopefully we can build on that.
yeah, definitely. Now, I've seen this comment a couple of times from CGM, so I'm just going to bring it up. He's obviously follically challenged CGM because he's not liking some of the young guys here. Now,
You can't say the B word anymore, it's sexist.
Stu, I would kill for some of their hair, like yourself.
Me too.
So,
Yeah, me too. Definitely. I'd take any of it. So
yeah,
I'm getting there.
I'm thinking that CGM's follically challenged like a lot of us.
yeah, I'm jealous to be honest. So
Oh, I'm
I can't-
absolutely jealous. You better
it's
believe it.
yeah, definitely not my area of expertise judging people's haircuts. So I have to stay quiet on that one.
So, guys, that was the game 3-1, and I think, as we said, Scott, we thoroughly deserved that 3-1, didn't we? I mean, considering the lineup we finished up with, it was a convincing 3-1 win, wasn't it? I mean, basically, as folk are saying it was basically the B team.
It was, and I said before, I thought Hearts might have just aged it because the way the players we had starting had a full strength squad, so I was totally wrong yet again. But we were comfortable. We could have won by more, to be honest with you. But the whole team played really well, and I'm happy for the young guys because they'll be full of confidence. They'll be buzzing, and we're not going to Spain through the week. That's a good thing to have about the full camp. Everybody confident in each other, and no matter who's in the team and who's not, they're all backing each other up. They're all playing for each other, and the morale right through the club at the moment for the B team, the women's team, the first team, it's fantastic.
Absolutely, and I'm just bringing that up there just to. I mean, I don't know how much. I dare say Frankfurt are probably going to be going about the same as us, Stu. That they're probably not really concentrating too much on this game against Mainz, are they?
I think they played quite a strong team, but
Are
Have
they?
they?
I didn't think so. I think last week they didn't, did they? I think last week
they played a lot of the
rested a
players
few.
that played against West Ham. Somebody mentioned it on Twitter, and I looked at their team in both games, and there's not many changes between the West Ham game and a game. So maybe this is a team for Wednesday. We don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting to see then.
Interesting to see that, absolutely. So, as I say, Stu, we finished the game with virtually 7 or 8 youth players. They'll all be buzzing. I dare say Gio and the youth management will be buzzing. I mean, they've now seen with Patterson going to Everton, there's a pathway to the first team. now they're getting a taste of it. Surely these guys just want more of this.
Yeah, brilliant. And it's what I like to see is Gio trusting them as well, and they've earned the chance. It's not like, it doesn't matter that this was the dead rubber. That's not the reason that they're in there. They're in there because they're impressing at other levels, and they're proving their worth. So um, Gio's done it at a final, I believe. He's played the kids there as well. So it's good to see that. We saw, Gerard did talk about it a lot, and I think when Gerard come in, that structure sort of started getting implemented. But apart from, I think, was it that Kilmarnock game he played? Was it Dapo he brought on for a game there? Apart from that, we didn't see too much of the youth under Gerard. I don't think. A couple of them made the bench, but that was it. And Gio's sort of starting to trust them a lot more, which is good to see. And you'd think that's almost like that Dutch model, isn't it? Bringing the youth through and moving them on for big bucks like we have with Patterson. So yeah, just excitement from the whole club, and I think Gio's going to be delighted, and it's proved that he can trust them because he's given them all a chance today, and I don't think a single one of them let him down. So it's it almost makes the summer better for us as well, because I don't think we now have to be in that big of a rush to try and bring a whole team in, because we're going to have a bit of a rebuild, but we've got this backup, this youth coming through that's going to sort of complement who we do bring in.
I must have missed this question in the comments, but I'll bring it up. Diallo for the final. Sorry, I got it there.
Diallo.
Diallo for the final. Do you think he'll play a role?
I think he will. I think he may come on, depending on where the game goes. But he definitely will be on the bench. Stacey, I don't think he won't be not on the bench. I think he will take part. You've seen the last few games, Gio has thought he's got a bit more about his game and he's a bit more confident, so he's trusting him more. I think Gio does know he's 11, and I don't think he's going to be in his first 11, but I think he will be on the bench, and you don't know what's going to happen through the game. He may have to bring him on to get a goal, or maybe 3-0 up and bring him on for a song, who knows, but he will be on the bench and maybe take part at some point. But to be honest with you, I think on Diallo, I think he's just starting to enjoy his time at Rangers. I think the club's actually starting to get ingrained in him a bit, and you can see that with his highlights in the past week, the way he's played, but the way he's joined in celebrations. And I think if you asked him to come back next season, he probably would. But I think that's up to the manager, Ross Wilson, how much it would be to bring him back. But I wouldn't say no to bringing him back, because I think he could offer us more next season, because he's get used to playing in the Scottish game. But Wednesday, it'll tell him Wednesday, but I do think he'll be on the bench.
Stu, how do you think? Do you think he'll play a part?
I think he could. I do agree with Scott though. I think he will be on the bench. I think, yeah, like you said, Gio's got his 11 for me. I said a while ago, I think the only sort of terrible we could play is whether Ruth makes it or not. But even now, I think it's going to be so late. Ruth won't even play a part, even if he's fit. Well, he play a part, but not from the start. I think that comment that's just come in is pretty much going to be the team. Actually, yeah, I'd agree with that. So I think he can play a part, and like Scott said, he is improving. He's toughened up. You know what I mean? He doesn't just back out the challenge now. He can ride a challenge. And his work rate today to get back to help the team out defensively, I thought was really, really good. Which is, I think, the reason why Scott Wright has maybe been trusted a little bit more over him. But to see him now have that, see him learning on the job a bit like Bassey does, he learns while he's playing. It's really good to see. So yeah, I think he can play a part, but I think he'll start on the bench for sure.
Okay, so we've finished with the Hearts game today. We'll have a little obviously look at the Wednesday now. Now, Jim Sloan channel members came in with a comment, and I looked at it with a bit of sort of surprise. I wasn't quite sure how to take this one, but I'll take it to both of you. This current Rangers team is the best I've seen since '92 in Europe. Now, is he saying since, as in not including the '92?
Is he including? So he's including the team that nearly got to the final when Marseille cheated, and then, or is he missing out the team that went to Manchester underwater? To be honest with you, I think this team's above the team that went to Manchester, just for talent wise.
Yes.
Like I said earlier to you, buying the team that went to Manchester, we were a team, but we relied more on defensive
Hard work.
the way we played and hard work. Yeah, we had players like Quella could defend, but Cut Broadfoot was in defence, and McCulloch was playing, so it was a lot of hard work and graft.
Yeah.
We drew a few games, we had magic moments through Stephen Whittaker, things like that. But I think this team's got both who can defend, but you see the goals for Tav scored, Morelos has scored, Kent shines in Europe. We've got a lot of players who teams are afraid of. Whereas in 2008, I didn't think we had players that teams were afraid of, but I think we have now, and I think that's just why. And I think we heard Conor Golson speak, didn't we, a few weeks ago when he says doesn't matter how much they cost, it doesn't matter who they are.
Yeah,
A squad of players here, we're better than them, stuff like that. I think the players know that themselves. I think before the Dortmund game, we all thought, right, Dortmund, we're out of here. We're not going to get by Dortmund. So we beat Dortmund, which is a surprise to us. I think it maybe been a surprise to the players
yeah,
deep down because they brought into that game thinking, right, Jude Bellingham, Haaland, if he played, we've got other players there. We're not going to win this, but we'll go and give it a bash. We went and beat Dortmund quite comfortably. We're probably
yeah,
4-2, but it should have been more. And I think after that, these players had maybe had a meeting with themselves or the manager or and said, listen, we've just beat Borussia Dortmund. Yeah, we get people saying that's not a Dortmund it was, blah, blah, blah. But they were favourites for the tournament and they spend a hell of a lot of cash. So saying, well, if we beat Borussia Dortmund, we shouldn't fear anybody. And I think we've proved that after that. We don't fear anybody in Europe. And I think when you hear on Holland Argyll speaking about Rangers, Matt and Keown, they know how good we are. It's just when you listen to people up in Scotland, they
yeah,
kind of back away from it and think, nah, we've been lucky here and lucky. We've not been lucky. Yeah, you need a bit of luck in football. But a lot of these games, even in the semi final, 1-0 down, like we said, coming back tie blocks, after 20 minutes, we turned the tie.
yeah,
Do you know what I mean? That's how good a team we've been in Europe. Yeah, we screwed the league up with 12-point swing. Still sticks in my throat. We should have done that. But
mhm,
us European ones, we've achieved that on off our own back, and nobody should take that away from us because we're up there, and
yeah.
we're probably getting this team, this tie. And I would probably say the bookies are probably maybe put us favourites because that's how good we've been in this cup this season.
Stu, Nicholas Moore is saying that Ramsey has to start on Wednesday. Now, where do you sit with that?
I love Ramsey. I really, really like Ramsey. Liked when we signed him. Obviously, a bit gutted that it took so long to get him ingrained in the team. I think he's got it from day one. He's understand it straight away. I think he loves it, and you can see at moments how good he is. However, don't think he can start on Wednesday. Maybe if he'd played all the games up to now, we'd have an argument for it. I thought when he went the false nine last week, he was really, really good in that position. But then again, I think Aribo was better at it. So for me, it has to be the sort of Kent, Aribo, and Bright because I don't think any of them done anything wrong to come out of that from Leipzig. But he would definitely be in my mind to play a part if we need a game changing because he can play in those pockets and as I say, he's sort of little one touch movements and stuff like that. His thinking is on the next like level compared to a
Mhm.
lot of the players. So he would be involved for me. I wouldn't be starting him though. I think the team that starts the team that everyone thinks is going to start. I think it is the right team to start.
You agree with that, Scott?
I wouldn't start Aaron
No.
Ramsey just because he's not playing enough games for me. If he played every week, you start him because if he can get back to his full fitness, he probably is the best player on the team, given what he's done in his career and where he came from. And you can see at times he's head and shoulders above, but he's not. You don't want to break down. So you start with the players who Joe thinks is his strongest. I know the formation well, and that's probably going to be the players that started the semi final, I'm afraid. And same with Roof, you don't find him in because it sometimes takes Roof 1 or 2 games, maybe 2 or 3 games to get back into the way he's played. So find him into a final might not work for us. That's how maybe play Aribo as a false nine again, play right and Kent down the side. Yeah, I know people are saying Scott Wright's not this and that, and I'm not. I've never been Scott Wright's biggest fan, but Gio's found a way it works for him. Yeah, Diallo's probably technically better forward wise, but Scott Wright does a lot of work off the
Mm.
ball, so does
Yeah,
Kent, and I think that's what Gio looks for as well, especially when we've not got the ball. So you need players like that. So he'll go with his strongest 11. I think it's something put in the chat. I think that'll be it. Just the way Ramsey not been 100%, Roof might not even be on the bench, so he'll go with his strongest 11. But these players that's all been mentioned, they can come off the bench and make an impact. There's no doubt they can. So because you don't start doesn't mean you can't come on and score or come on and change something.
yeah. So we'll park the obviously Europa League final for just now because I think later in the week we're going to be turning into Laws Rangers Rablos for a couple of episodes. But so Martin asked me to ask the question, guys. The season is officially over as far as the league's concerned. Scott, your overall thoughts on the league? I know you've said them a few times, but
Oh, my thoughts now. Still sticks in my throat, Brian. The
and what's sorry, before Scott starts, what's everybody else's thoughts on the league campaign. Martin was wanting me to get us a wee discussion about the league campaign alone. So get your comments on what you think of the league that we've just had.
I don't want to be too critical of Gio because I was in command, but he's turned us around. You can see he's tweaked things here and there, and he's getting better with the way we're playing. And some of his tweaks recently have been really good, like putting Jacket right back, Taffel forward. These things have worked, but when he came in, I think he wasn't sure his players, and that's maybe where we lost 2 points. Don't get me wrong, individual errors haven't helped, especially for McGregor and things like that. But the point swing does still stick my throat. Yeah, Celtic's been consistent since Christmas, but and I'm not. It's not through blue tinted glasses, even though I wear glasses, and I can't say they've won the league, so I can't say like we're miles better. But I still think we're a better side than them, even though they've won in the league doesn't really prove my point. I just think we threw the league away. I don't think they've actually won it because they're better. I just think it's we've thrown it away, and that's kind of what sticks in my throat.
Stu, how did you think the league season fared? Sorry.
Yeah, it's disappointing. It's from where we were to where we finished is no one likes that. I was guilty of sort of hounding a bit of Gio at the start when we started losing those points, but in what he's done since tactically and what he's shown us, I think you almost have to realise he took over someone else's team. Yeah, we had that good run under him, but he was, he's still figuring out tactics. He's figuring out players, where he can trust them, what they can do. And you've seen a lot of these players evolve under him. So while it is disappointing, I think what he's shown us since, it's for me that's enough. And it's so hard because of, as I say, 6 points clear. We shouldn't have been throwing that league. And around that time, we weren't even a million miles off the goal difference, and we finished like a country mile behind in that. But I think that's what they've done. They built a team, to be fair to them, that can beat the rest of the dredge in this league, really. And while we dropped silly points at the last minute a lot, they were scoring a lot in the last minute. So it's just, finding that. I think someone just said about the Ross County 3-3 haunting. Yeah, that was the turning point for me.
That was the start of it, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah, I think so.
The verdict's in on the boss. Is it guilty or not guilty?
He took his tie off. He's going home.
I've had this. Can you hear me all right? Aye.
Yeah.
What's happened to the hair? It's a bit windswept.
It's yeah. Less said on that, the better.
No gel today, no.
No gel. I'm going for a haircut as soon as this show is finished. But yeah, no, I was listening a wee bit there, and that's something that I did want discussed. And the reason that I wanted the league discussed is because, and Kieran, me and you have spoke about this. We've made it to the Europa League final. We're all buzzing. I'm not right now. I do not feel in any way gutted that we've finished second, Kerr. But in the cold light of day, when we look back, and I know you've already kind of spoke on it, but how will we feel when we look back at this league season? Or do you think the fact that we've made it to the Europa League and whether we win it or not, we just won't feel as gutted as if we maybe went out and say, I don't know, the Borussia Dortmund game?
I think football fans are fickle. We all are. We all go with results. Don't we? Every result, we feel different after. If we lose, we get a bit of frustration. Some get anger if we win, but it's high as kites. So I think after this week, Martin asked us the same question on Saturday night, and we'll tell you the answer.
Well, Brian, you asked the question. So what about you? How do you feel?
All the league for me started to deteriorate at Ross County away. Mm-hmm. I do feel if we'd won that game and hadn't conceded that last minute goal away to Ross County, I think we could have been speaking about a different league campaign. But it was the Ross County away one for me that it all started to go wrong as such. We had a couple of consecutive, I think, home results we drew. Various other, I think every game that we drew, we were ahead in the game and conceded the taking the lead. And that's the bit that really annoys me. We didn't see games out. We should have seen games out. It was games that we were more than comfortable in them. And we've only got ourselves to blame, to be honest, in this league campaign. That's just my overall opinion.
This is an absolute disgrace, isn't it? This Barnet is. I'm just seeing hundreds of comments going on.
I think you should get a haircut like Stuart and Brian.
It's like a wig. It's like an absolute wig. So Stu, obviously, as Rangers supporters, if we lose a game or we draw a game, we always look for who do we blame? Whose fault was it? Was it a collective fault, Stu, that we lost the league? Was it? Can we look back at Gerrard leaving, Gio coming in? Is it Gio's fault, or is it the players, or is it just a mixture of all these things combined?
I think at one point I blamed every single one of them individually. So I would say it's a collective, really. Yeah, it's McGregor got it tight, didn't he, for a while for the mistakes he was making. Even Bassey at times, as good as he's been this season, a couple of dodgy mistakes. Just the mentality at times I didn't think was great during that little run where we dropped points. Gerrard leaving didn't help, and in the manner of it, Gio coming in for that Wally, we would score first and sit back, and we weren't good enough to do that. So I think it is a collective, and unfortunately, I think we just started to peak a bit too late in the season under Gio. But win Wednesday and it's all forgotten about. So
can I just say this is I don't know. I'm obviously using my phone just now, right? And I'm in a car, obviously, as people can see. So I don't know if this is going to work. But this is the best comment I've seen so far. Martin, open your window and let that seagull fly away.
That's what I was laughing at.
absolutely spot on. I'm going to leave you to finish off the pod. I thought I'd come on and say hello to everybody. It's the last domestic game of the season. The Rabble is just under 2 years old, so this is our second season, although we came in halfway through the first. So I just wanted to come on and thank everybody who watches, everybody who comments, everybody who's joined as a member, everybody at the beginning who supported us with the Patreon stuff, every single person who has contributed into making us a successful podcast. Is honestly, I can't thank you enough. 90% of the guys involved with the Rabble, right, are going to Seville. I think it might only be Brian, Scott, and Stuart only going.
Yeah.
So on Tuesday, I am going to attempt my best to do a live pod from the sunny streets of Portugal, because that's where I'm staying. So I'm going to try and get something sorted. If not, then I'm hoping that Brian, Scott, and Stuart are available on Tuesday night to get the old flagship podcast up and running. But I'm hoping to get something done and something set up in Seville on the Wednesday. It's going to be extremely difficult because it's going to be so busy. And my laptop charge is zero, so it needs to be plugged in all the time. Nicholas Moore, listen, along with CGM, along with Curry Munger, along with everybody, the usual names. Listen, thank you guys so much for making this worth it. Because if it was only 100 or 200 people watching, then it just would not be worth it. Brian, I shall leave it back in your capable hands. I'm going to go and get this seagull cut off my head.
See when you're better dressed, Martin.
Before you go, Martin, how did you feel the league ended or went? Or
I was wrong. Do you know something? See, when Gio first came in and we started dropping points, the anger was unreal. More than what it usually was. And I don't know if that's because this season, I think, was the first time in a long time that I think we all expected that we were going to win it. And not just win it, not win it comfortably, because we've got to remember Celtic went out and spent a lot of money. We didn't, right? So it was always going to be tighter. But at the start of the season, I was saying to Kerr, 10, 15 points comfortably. Gerrard's got this team motoring. We know what we're doing. We've got some excellent players. Kerr says, no, it's going to be tighter than that, Martin. He says to me, he said, I'll still think we'll win it, but it's going to be tight. So when Gio first came in, and there was these stupid draws, Motherwell, Ross County, I was one of the ones that was saying, Gio's not going to be here. Gio has to go. And I'm so glad that I was wrong, because it's strange, Brian, because he's turned it around so much.
Yeah.
And there we've just went to Tynecastle today, and we've beat the third best team in the league with their strongest team out. And we finished the game with 8 B team players in the park. And even when the B team players come on, we were still outclassing them. Yeah. So Gio has changed it so much that I'm now looking at it going, I've got so much confidence going into the next season, regardless of who we lose. Because don't forget, guys, we're still without our best striker. And we've just went to one of the hardest away grounds in the country and won 3-1. So the anger was unreal. I'm extremely disappointed, as I think anybody would be, to not win a league.
Yeah.
But getting to a European final, I think that overshadows any league win, to be honest with you. Because Kerr, I know I said I was going to go and I can't stop talking now.
I feel
Rangers
like
and
it's meant to
Celtic,
green, Martin.
Rangers and Celtic care for the next 50 or 100 years will continue to win leagues. It'll
Aye.
be back and forth, and we'll continue to win leagues. See, over the next 50 to 100 years, how many European finals will Rangers and Celtic get to?
Aye, no, we said that before. We're here. I mean, we're here after going down to depths, coming back up, and still getting to a European final before that lot. So it tells you a lot about them as well. We're always the biggest team in Scotland, no matter what league we're in. So I'll tell you that. But no, I agree with you. And I think if we won on Wednesday, it's the best achievement, best sporting achievement out of Scotland ever. Just the way football's went, financial wise.
100%.
And wise,
I
it beats everything that's ever happened in Scottish football. So
I said
I
earlier.
don't care who argues with me. It's a fact.
I said earlier. Now, I don't care how silly this comment might sound, but if Rangers win this Europa League final, it could possibly be, with the resources that we have at our disposal against what we've had to face, it could be the UK's biggest European final win ever.
I think, Brian, see when you look at the disparity, like what you're saying, like, we should never, over two legs, anything can happen in a single game.
Yeah.
Over two legs, we shouldn't be beating Borussia Dortmund. We shouldn't be beating Leipzig. That Leipzig team cost, if the numbers were right, over a couple of years, £300 million.
Yeah.
Right. Our team cost 12 million, and 7 million of that was on one player.
Mhm.
So Stu, we shouldn't. Football's football. Anything can happen in football, right? But maybe you can get through one tie. Maybe you can beat a Borussia Dortmund over two legs. But you shouldn't. Rangers should not be getting to a European final.
No, and I think if we ever dreamed of it, we'd probably be thinking it's going to be in that Conference League, and even that would be probably a stretch with some of the teams that drop into that. So yeah, I agree completely. It's the achievement is outstanding. It really, really is. And as you say, like 300 million on that Leipzig team, just what Jude Bellingham will go for alone in that Dortmund team.
Yeah.
So that could fund us for 10, 15 years. So
Well, I think the Leipzig centre half Garvidal, I think they signed him for about 30 million.
yeah,
So there's one guy out of the Leipzig team that is worth double our old team. You know, Stu,
Do you have to take? But do you have to take that into perspective? Because if Nkuku was playing for us, for example, he wouldn't be going for anywhere near the same amount that he'd be going because he plays for Leipzig. Is that fair?
Probably that's just because you leads are in, but I think football's changed so much in the last 10 years than I mind for the 60s. Do you know what I mean? Got to remember the 60s, not many teams were in Europe because some teams didn't fancy going to Europe. There wasn't a lot of teams to beat, and most teams had players that were very local. So it was just whoever had the best team from the area going into games. But now you can buy players for all the world. They're costing so much money, wage wise and transfer fee wise. UEFA don't want clubs for countries like Scotland into the finals because they don't think we bring anything, as in commercial wise stuff like that. It's only a small country, Scotland. We want teams for England, teams for Germany because they're bigger, more powerful. You can see the way they won the Super League. They don't want Rangers and things like that involved and stuff like this. But so this is the biggest achievement ever, I would say, because the way football's went. It's all money. We don't have money. And you can see that way Ross Wilson plays a bit. He's like a guy selling a big issue at times. We don't have any money. Rangers, we have to pick and choose who we buy, not because of transfer fee wise, wage wise, because players in England are getting paid a lot more money than us playing in the Championship. So we have to be clever. So this achievement outweighs a lot. Even Liverpool, if we won the Champions League, it's a great achievement. They've won it, I don't know how many times now, probably quite a lot. I don't really take notice of Liverpool, but to me, Rangers winning the Europa League is probably better just for money Liverpool have spent, the players they've got compared to us. I mean, that's achievement we've got superb. And if we win it on Wednesday, which I do think we will, but I think it's going to outweigh everything, just the way the football's went. Because you saw how upset Brendan Rodgers was when Leicester got knocked out. David Moyes was the same. So it tells you it's a big achievement winning Europe. So for Rangers being there, nobody can take that away from us. Even compared to Manchester.
I think if you look at what the bookies would have priced us at early on in the competition as well, compared to like what Liverpool would be to win a Champions League, then that those stats write themselves, don't they? What would we have been? 100
I think we were about 250 or 300 to 1 at one point.
So I think that
So
tells the story.
I've got a question for you, right? And I promise I'm going to go because this cart is boiling and I've had to put the window up, right? So maybe it's a good way for me to lose weight. I don't know. And we're going to do a full preview on the Tuesday, and of course we'll have the build up 45 minutes before the game, and we'll have reaction on Wednesday to the final as well. So I don't really want to go too much into the final, right? But question for you, Brian.
Right.
If Rangers win the Europa League, is that a bigger achievement than Leicester winning the Premier League?
100%. 100%. Considering the as we've just spoke about, the monies that we have got at our disposal compared to our competitors that we've faced and other teams that's been in the same competition, we're light years behind the finances of their capabilities. I mean, as I said, there was Leipzig signed a guy for 30 million. You know, you could go on and on about other teams and other players they've signed for vast amounts of money. That million, I think that Dortmund signed was 20 odd million. So it's definitely. I'm sticking by my statement. If Rangers win this the Europa League final, it is the biggest UK win in Europe ever.
You've heard it first here, guys. If Rangers win the league, it is the biggest achievement ever. Right, I'm going to sign off, and just before I sign off, I think I was on Tuesday. I think I was, and
You were.
I was talking about Lowry. I was bumming Lowry up something awful. I know you have probably already spoke about him, but I agree with this comment. Lowry is better than Nkuku. That boy. See, I shouldn't be asking this question because I need to go.
Can't help myself.
And he won't, right? I have to start it by saying that he won't. But if Gio threw a curveball and started Lowry on Wednesday, would you be worried?
No.
Not at all.
He's good enough, isn't he? Tell me that boy's good enough to start that final.
He's 100% good enough, yeah.
I said that earlier, he's got a swagger about him. It's no arrogance, it's just he knows he's good. And he knows the teammates know he's good, and he's just on a different level for the rest of the youth team players. He's even on a different level for some of the first team players. The boy's going to get better, and he's going to get better at Rangers. So you just hope he stays for a long time because there's something special about this guy.
There is. Right, I'm going to leave you to it. I'm going to go. Right. Again, big massive thank you to everybody, and hopefully I'll see you from Portugal on Tuesday. If there's any of you's going to cross, fucking bump into me and say hello and let me know who you are. It'd be great to meet some of the people who watch the pod as well. But I'm going to go. Right, I'll see you all later.
Are we going to get a travel diary of you?
Absolutely not. I can't do that vlogging stuff. No chance.
Duty free.
It'd be about a week's worth anyway. So the boss man's there. So yes, Martin had a few issues coming back from Dortmund. If you're wondering why I was asking that, but
Yeah.
So folks, I think we're just coming up for the hour now. So as Martin just said, he's hoping to do something live on Tuesday and build up and reaction on Wednesday. So from now on, we are going to be called Los Rangers Rablos, as Elaine coined on one of the chats. Thank you to everybody that's been on the show today. Anybody that's going to the UEFA Cup final, safe travels, enjoy
Europa
yourselves.
League, Brian, Europa League final, not
Europa
UEFA.
League,
You're away behind the times.
I know. It's just the UEFA Cup to me.
Just
That's
in
the
case
problem.
Martin phone's back.
I know. But no, everybody that's going out to Seville or neighbouring countries, enjoy yourselves, stay safe, and I hope everything goes to plan. But thanks to Stu and thanks to Scott. Are you going, Stu?
No, couldn't get off work. Just had 2 weeks off, tried my hardest, and unlike Martin, I'm not going to quit the job over it, unfortunately. But I did just want to, I know it's going all the way back, but I just want to shout out James Sands quick about today because I actually thought he was quality, and I don't think we mentioned him. I thought he was really, really good. So I just wanted to chuck that in before we go.
No,
That's
he
fine.
was good.
No.
He was good.
He was very good.
Yeah.
Very good.
I think
But
he gets
no,
overlooked just because of the position he plays and because
Mm.
he's not a fancy Dan, do you know what I mean? He just does his job in some way, and
Yeah.
I thought he was really good today.
Yeah. Okay, folks, as I said, stay safe, enjoy the final if you've got a ticket, and hopefully everything comes to plan, and we'll be celebrating. So enjoy your week, folks. Thanks for having us. Cheers.
Cheers.